Good morning, traders. Okay, welcome to the Bookmap Platform Details webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap, and risk disclaimer: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so the goal of the webinar here is to introduce you to Bookmap, define what it is, who uses it, how to connect it to the markets, the advantages that it gives you, and how to subscribe to it. We have a new website to go over with you, so we'll jump into that. And then we'll look at the live market and define the Bookmap elements on the chart so you understand what you're looking at and what Bookmap is visualizing. And then we'll start to look at some of the order flow details. Okay, for example, some really nice stuff already happening here. This is actually what we go through in the advanced order flow webinars in detail here. For example, looking at the NASDAQ E-mini right now, there's really good reason up in this area up here to think that you're looking for a return back to the VWAP or back to the kind of mean here in this price action. Well, look at the volume here picking up. Who's in control? There's no question about it. This is a very powerful move, and we have broken out of this range. This is what's required to get outside of those ranges. Okay, lots of big volume here, a lot of buying, and the buyers are certainly in control. Okay, so we're going to look at in the advanced order flow webinar. We're going to start with our daily chart and look at the higher time frames like we did yesterday for that sell-off into our area here of interest. And then now looking for some buyers to maybe step in and bring it back up into some of these levels here. We'll see. Anyway, I'm getting way ahead of myself. The point is that when you subscribe, Bookmap comes with education. There's a 4-part educational course that's always available online. And then there's the advanced order flow webinars that I was just describing. That's where we look at the live market and analyze the price activity. And then due to our objective analysis, we start to anticipate where price might go. Okay, so anyway, that's the education that comes with the subscription. Let's jump into the new website here. All right, scroll down here. So what is Bookmap? Let's define it. We are a software trading platform. Okay, a lot of people think we're some sort of indicator or derivative of time, price, and volume. We certainly are not. Okay, that's exactly what we are not. In fact, this is a very objective view of the marketplace. We're only showing 3 elements on the Bookmap chart, it's just like any other platform out there, like NinjaTrader or TTX Trader Pro or whatever it might be. That's what we are. We're software. Okay. Who uses Bookmap? Day traders, scalpers, swing traders, and quants. Even position traders I know use Bookmap. They're looking for optimizing their longer term positions. They want to understand what's going on in the order flow. For example, today, a position trader would want to see this. Okay, they would want to understand that the buyers are in control up here. All right, anyway, that's just an example. Let's continue on. The main point here is that a lot of people think that the visualization is only useful for very small time frames, low time frames like scalping and algo HFT environment. It's just not true. I'll show you several examples today during the webinar. All right, you can read more about this here, improving your trading skills. We'll continue on connectivity. So we'll stop here for a moment and let's talk about the different markets that Bookmap connects to. Okay, so since we are software, we are not a data provider, nor are we a broker. Okay, now we connect to the futures markets, US equities, and digital currencies. Okay, so 3 different markets. Now the data for the digital currencies is free, but since we're software, you will need to provide the data for futures and for US equities. Here's how. With US equities, there is only one method for connectivity, and that's through DX feed. So if you're an equities trader, you will need to subscribe to Bookmap as well as DX feed. Now for futures, you have lots of different options here. Rhythmic, CQG, Gain Capital, Ninja, Transact, IQ feed, Nanotick, and Cedro. You can connect to all of those for futures, as well as the API for TTX Trader Pro, Ninja 7 and 8, and Interactive Brokers Traders Workstation. Okay, so you can go through the API, but it's recommended to bypass another program and go directly with the data provider like Rhythmic or CQG. Okay, if you want a demo of some futures data, you can click here. And we have new pricing elements here, okay, to go through. So you can now subscribe monthly, yearly, and lifetime. Okay, we're very happy this has been requested, so we're offering now a lifetime. So let's click on monthly here. You can see that there's Bookmap Digital, Global, and Global Plus, and we'll go through the different versions here. Okay, and then you can click on lifetime here, and you can see the pricing that is available here. Okay, so let's go to monthly here and go through some of the details. Now, the digital version, what this is for connectivity to only one digital currency. It is free. Okay, the data is free. The market's always open, so you can check out a live market using this free version. But that's all you get. Okay, there's also a delayed feed for U.S. equities, so you can look at that. If you want live data though for futures or for equities, then I would recommend going with the monthly global version. Try it for a month and see if this works for you. Okay. All right, so that's the free version. Now, the global version here, what you get is connectivity to all three types of markets, those futures, US equities, and digital currencies. Just the data is free for the digital currencies, but not for equities and futures. Now, the distinction between Global Plus and Global is our add-on indicators. Okay, that's what you get, there's all sorts of add-on indicators down here. You can see the check mark here that you don't get it here for the global. It's the large lot tracker, our iceberg detector, imbalance indicators, etc. These are proprietary indicators that we put together. Okay? They allow you to understand order flow phenomena in a unique way. Right? So for example, our iceberg tracker, we can identify larger players who are hiding their liquidity in the book. Okay, they're using iceberg orders, and they don't want to show their position or where they might be willing to provide a lot of liquidity. Okay, they want to get filled, so they only piece out their large orders in iceberg. Okay, and we can detect it. All right. So anyways, we can continue on here. A free webinar and learn order flow basics here. That's what this webinar is right now. So welcome to that. Some testimonials here. And let's jump over to some other resources. Twitter, for example. You might want to follow us here on Twitter at bookmap_pro. All sorts of good stuff here every day. So for example, you can see a volume column information here, a video, and here's a retweet actually from me, and going through a trade setup, 2 counter trend trades yesterday. Anyway, all sorts of good information here, and other traders, for example, here, that tweet about their trade activity. And we'll be happy to promote it. Let's go over our YouTube page. If you're new to Bookmap here, then I would recommend watching some of these intro videos. Then there's the features and components here, some selected webinars, but I think these order flow video education videos here will be the most helpful for you to understand the order flow phenomena that Bookmap is visualizing. This is the advantage you're going to get using Bookmap. Very concise, short videos here. This is the kind of content we go through in our Bookmap education. Okay, and that's what we're going to do in the advanced order flow webinar. All right, so let's jump into the live market here and see what's going on. Okay, all right, you can see that we're just bumping up into some high liquidity up here, and we're looking at the NASDAQ E-mini. And let's go through the elements on the Bookmap chart, and I'm going to simplify this chart to begin with. Okay, we have a point of control indicator here. We have a VWAP, historical VWAP indicator. They're both excellent, but we're going to take them off. We're going to take our iceberg detector off, and we have a subchart here for cumulative volume delta. We're going to close that up as well, and we're just going to look at the basic Bookmap chart. The three elements here, very, very objective view of the marketplace. The three elements are the current and historical best bid and offer, okay? The volume that traded here with the dots here on that best bid and offer. And then you see this heat map here. Okay? The heat map is what is the element that most traders are very unfamiliar accessing. It's liquidity. It's showing where people want to sell up here above current price or down below current price or historical price where they want to buy. Okay? We're seeing all sorts of great stuff here already today. For example, look at this sell-off into high liquidity down here. And it looks like the majority of that was filled, and this is where this reversal took place. Okay, and you can see where it really started to pick up. In fact, you can see it in the volume dots. You can also see it in the volume subchart here. Look at the volume starting to pick up in these areas here, okay? Especially up here, right? This is where the breakout took place, all right? And it took this kind of volume to lift that offer up into, where did it go? The next area of high liquidity, okay? Like a magnet, right? The market is shooting for this. It needs high liquidity to trade, and that's where the sellers are. So the buyers are coming up to meet them here. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's, I'll put a candlestick chart on here, and let's go through some of the details here, because we'll just define these simple elements on the Bookmap chart, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so this is a 5-minute candlestick chart. Okay? We're all very accustomed to looking at this view here. Okay? We understand that's open, high, low, and close of a 5-minute period. The problem here is that it is a period. It's an aggregated period of data, okay? And there's a lot of opacity here. We have no insight to what happened within this 5-minute period. We just have open, high, low, and close, and that's it. Okay. What about where are they bidding? Where are they offering? What about all sorts of microstructure in here? And where the volume exactly traded on that microstructure? Okay. We want that kind of information, and we're simply not getting it. Okay. Even if you're looking at a footprint chart, it's still within a period, and you'll see the volume precisely on this candle, but you're still not getting a precision view here of the relationship of microstructure with the volume. So first element we're going to put on here, and we're going to break it down into microstructure, is just by showing historical best bid and offer. And that's why we show it, because it gives you much more accurate view of really what occurred with price. Okay? So for example, look at the 9:30 open here. Look at this consolidation area here. Let's mark it up here. Okay, it consolidated within this period. Look at the bashed up above here, and it did not accept above to begin with. It bashed to the other side here. It did not accept here either. Okay, and then we see the breakout to the upside. Okay, we get a test all the way back to this area here, which is going to be the point of control of this little area before the market cash open. Okay, and it accepted higher. Okay. Usually we see very typically the pullback is to the top of the range of this area here, and went a little bit deeper here, and then started to come up and make higher highs, as you can see the breakout here above that area, but it did not accept. It came back down, but it accepted here above the breakout, as you can see very clearly. Okay, and that's the breakout that we were just looking at here. And here's the move to the upside. Okay, so now we're starting to understand this isn't really microstructure. It's but it still is structure. So let me zoom into this little area here, and we'll just let me define what I mean by some of the microstructure and what's going on. Okay, so let's look between these two 5-minute periods, or this one 5-minute period here. This is what I mean. So you see how we kind of sold off here, and then we went sideways. We kind of broke down below. We made like a double or triple bottom here, and we found some buyers that started to step in. okay? And we broke this structure here. This is the details that we want to know. Look at the breakout here, okay? Let's throw the volume on here so we can really start to see the details. Okay, see how the volume picked up here on the buy side. These green dots are aggressive market buy orders, right? And they're lifting the offer. On the way down here, you see sellers. Not too many actually. It's just kind of dribbling down here. Buyers start to step in here. Okay, a little early. Okay, we still make lower lows here. But then the buyers step in again here, and it really starts to pick up here. Look at the little areas here. It gives us insight. In fact, for those of you looking at your volume profile, you know exactly what this is. You've got this kind of weak top area here. You've got your P-shaped profile. You're looking for the breakout to the upside because you know that there are buyers up here, and they'll try to discover price to the upside here. And that's exactly what happened. Looking for maybe a pullback to this area here. We got it. And then you see the buyers still stepping in. The sellers down here, not many. Let's zoom into this area, and I just want to show you these two simple elements so you understand what you're looking at. Okay, very simple and straightforward. The red line here is the historical best ask. The green line is the best bid. All right, and we can see that the green dots here, this is your market buy order, okay? They crossed the spread, they paid up for it, they took liquidity off of the best offer here, and a green dot paints, okay? So that's what we're looking at here, okay? Now, we can zoom in and we can look at every single transaction here, and you can see that actually it was for a volume of 2, but there's 2 separate transactions. So this is a trade here for a volume of 1 and then another one. We're down at microsecond level. Okay, we're looking at very detailed, precise data here. Okay, we came from that quant environment, and it's important to precisely detail out the data. Okay, we want to make informed trading decisions, so we want precision here. Okay, look at this nice sweep of the book higher here, nice pullback all the way back to where it broke from, and no sellers down here, for example, and continue to the upside. Anyway, just kind of reading the tape here along the way, and let's go to the current market. Let's take our candlestick off here, and let's go through now the third element on the Bookmap chart, which is the heat map. Okay, here we go. What we're looking at here is the liquidity in the order book, and we're just recording it historically. So zooming into the current market, let's define what it is. This line here makes the distinction. To the left is all historical data, and to the right is current data. This is your best bid and offer right now. And this number is the last traded volume. This is our price ladder here. And then the COB column, we're just gonna go over one column, and this stands for current order book. What this is displaying here is liquidity. Okay, these are contracts up here above current price. They want to be sellers at these levels. Okay, down below, they want to be buyers. Now, what we do is we take these numeric values and transform them into a heat map. Okay, so we can look right at it here, and we can start to understand where they're providing liquidity. Okay, we're seeing all sorts of great stuff here already. Look at this, them pulling all of that liquidity here. Okay, so and we're going to come down to an area of higher liquidity until we will, probably run into buyers at some of these lower levels here. Anyway, what we do in Bookmap is we take these numeric values, transform them into a heat map. Okay, when these numbers change, the heat map changes to reflect it, and then we record it onto the chart historically. Okay, so that's all it is. That's all the heat map is just a record here of the behavior from the order book. Okay, so we can start to now read and understand all sorts of things here. For example, as we were just breaking down through this area here, well, here are the buyers here, but they're pulling all their liquidity. You can see it very clearly here. Okay, so did they want to be buyers? No, absolutely not. Right? They were showing that looked like they wanted to be buyers, but they're pulling it all. In fact, look at the sellers come in here on the offer, and look at this algorithmic activity here as they're pulling, adding lower, pulling, adding lower, etc. Okay? In fact, this is looks kind of like a it has a look to it. We can find much better examples, but an algo here to ignite stops to the downside, okay, by maybe kind of skewing the book here, or it could be someone who might be trapped trying to get out here. Anyway, the sell-off here pretty nice. All this liquidity pulled here on the bid until, and they're still pulling, okay, until we find somebody. Okay, and actually we didn't really find them in the book. We found the aggressor here. Okay, someone started to step in and started to buy. Okay, actually we do find them here. Look at this, very high liquidity up at this area here, at this 29 3/4, and the sellers trade right into it. Okay, at that point, at this little point here, they trade right into it, but they don't take it lower. Okay, so we just kind of go sideways here. Now we're finding some sellers, and there looks like they're willing to take it lower. Let's see if we can get down into maybe 26.5 here. Or are we going to get those buyers to step in? Okay, it looks like the buyers are going to support this. All right, so let's see now. I'm looking for if they're going to support it above this little area, or we could even come down to this 29.5 again. Looking for the pullback, and then looking for them to take the buyers to take this higher. Maybe is the swing up here. I like this little area here, okay, at 35. Maybe a little bit higher as well into this volume cluster up here, or where this move initiated from on the downside. Okay, first test, it looks like pretty good here at 35. Let's see if buyers can lift it into that area. Okay, we already got our pullback very quickly, as you can see, right to this 31 and a quarter area, and we just got our test into 35. No, one tick away. Okay, let's see if we can reach it on another swing here to the upside. Okay, so anyway, starting to understand the relationship here. Okay, this is what we go through in the advanced order flow webinar, is starting to understand relationship and context between the aggressor and the liquidity provider. Okay, so for example, this was very short-lived. We already went down below here. Okay, so we're kind of going sideways here, let's see if the sellers can take it a little bit lower into 25 and 26, or I'm sorry, 23. Okay, we haven't seen them absorb any of this selling pressure yet. We just saw the buyers step in. Okay, so this is a part of that process. We want to see some of this selling pressure here absorbed. Okay, and where's that going to happen? It's going to happen down here. Okay, until they can meet the limit orders here on the bid. Okay, you can see them layered in here. 163. Contracts at 25, at 23 there's 125, and at 22 there's 84. All right, so now what I want to go over here is we're kind of going through some of the analysis here, we do a lot of that, much more of that in the advanced order flow webinar. What I want to cover here is we're looking kind of at this current market and starting to understand these areas here. You can now use your DOM not just for this current and recent historical market. Let's zoom out. Okay, look how you can use this on the higher time frame. Okay, this is great information. Here they were, 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock we knew this. They were layering in here. We wanted to be sellers up here. They tested, they traded. Next area, here at 9:30, they layered in up here. Okay, we just came shy of it, but the buyers are aggressive here. Okay, and they're lifting the offer up into these areas. You can start to target these areas here. All right, let's see, Marvino, can you use ADP, the API with TD Ameritrade? No, I mean, you can, if you are a programmer in Java, or if you want to hire a programmer, you can build that connectivity with TD Ameritrade or Thinkorswim. All right. So if you want information on that, I can get it for you. Yeah, let me do that. In fact, okay, and I'll get the ball started here. So we're going to go to the Bookmap wiki. Hold on. Okay, we have a private wiki, but we also have a public one. Okay, you program in Python. All right. Well, let me just point you in this direction, and you can ask questions there. Okay. There's also a forum, and it's all the links are here. So let's just go to the API here. Okay. Yeah. So this will answer all your questions. So I'm going to put this into the chat for everybody. Okay, there you go. Bookmap.com/wiki/bookmap_API. Okay, and you'll see there's the form. There's a GitHub page here. Okay, as you can see, and there's the form here, the recent form that we just made. Okay, so all the links are in here. So ask away, yeah, that's great that you're using Python. We use Java, but you'll probably get your answers from there. Okay. All right, guys. Well, it's time to go. If you're a subscriber, we'll see you in the next webinar. Else, we will catch up with you tomorrow. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.